Hey guys, welcome to Herding Little Cows. Today is October 20th and it's a Sunday, and this little guy is exactly 1 week old today. Just a couple hours ago. He was 1 week old. He was born on a Sunday night at 5 o'clock. So we are doing well. Sorry that we haven't done updates every day, but mommy has been tired. I've been trying to learn to rest during the day and get sleep with this guy at night. So he is a good sleeper. He sleeps for about 4 hours and then wakes up to nurse and then goes back to sleep for a couple more hours, which is better than any of my other kids at this point. But we love him. He's sweet and we can't get enough of him. Every time the girls walk by him, they go, "Oh, he's so cute. Can I take a picture of him?" So he's had lots of pictures taken. But tonight, what I was going to talk about is learning how to ask people for help and accepting help. Those are two challenges we're going through right now. Hold on, I'm just going to move the camera. Sorry, you're all shaky. Okay, there, better. Okay, so I am needing to rest. I explained this on another video that it is very good for moms to be able to rest, especially for the first 2 weeks, ideally the first 6 weeks after they have a baby. And I know it's important. I can tell you in my head that it's important and I need to stay laying down. But I don't know about you other moms, but I don't normally ask for help. I normally just get up and do things. So like Uriah, Malachi is always with me, so I'm doing his diaper changes and all of that. But Uriah is 2, and when I think he needs his diaper changed, I usually just stand up, and halfway through the diaper change, I think, why am I doing this? Why didn't I ask one of the others to help with this chore? Just because they didn't know it needed to be done, and I should have said something. I'm working really hard at trying to ask for help when people need it. In our house, because of how things are with Josiah and his disability with cerebral palsy, he sometimes needs help getting dressed, both into his day clothes and then into his pajamas. Sometimes he needs help in the bathroom and things like that. So I know that's something that there's other people in this house they can do. My husband is here, he can do those, but I forget to ask. I just stand up and do. So learning as a mom to be able to see the need and not just fill it ourselves, to ask somebody else in the house to fill it. But then the other one is when people ask outside of the family what they can do to help, being willing to accept help from other people. We had a couple different people at church today ask us what they could do, bringing meals and such. And honestly, I had not expected people to bring us meals, because the last couple times we've had babies or had things going on in our family, we haven't been provided meals. And so I had not expected that, and so I'm grateful for everybody who has brought things over to us and is planning on bringing stuff this week. We have a couple different meals set up. But when people asked me at church today what they could do, what they could bring to help, I was a little taken back and didn't know what to tell people. So again, I want to thank those who brought stuff. But if you watched the hospitality series that I did, I don't know, 6-8 months ago, I share some of the stories of people who have blessed us over the years in different ways. And so this video is really just a challenge to see needs and see what you can do to fill them. And sometimes it means being a little bit forceful. So not in my case right now exactly, but I've had times where I've seen someone has a need. They've got some illness going on in their home or a new transition with a baby or something. And I will write to them and say, "Do you have a meal coming tonight? I will bring you one." Or I'm going to head over with, some groceries or whatever the thing may be. But we've had a lot of people, not this time, but with other things, that will say, "Oh, let me know how I can help," and never actually help in any way, never actually bring anything, never actually do anything. And so making sure that if you are offering people help, that you are following through with that. But also, if you're the one who's going to help somebody, like maybe be a little forceful and just say, okay, I'm going to bring this, I'm going to do this, because it's hard to accept help if you think people are asking out of obligation instead of just showing up and doing the thing. I read an article today online, and it was talking about just being there for other people. And I think sometimes just doing something that doesn't even seem that big to be able to bless somebody at a moment's notice can be more helpful than a meal planned out 2 weeks in advance. Not that the meal planned out is not helpful. I'm not saying that. But we had a friend who, if you watched the grocery haul the other day, she had a good deal at stores near her. And I was just a few days after having this little guy. So she went shopping for us and brought that stuff over. And she had the idea that she'd like to bring a meal, which was an amazing, thoughtful thing to do. But she was out of power. So she brought us frozen pizzas and chips. And I'll tell you, my kids enjoyed those frozen pizzas today when we made them. It was one of those that she didn't worry about what it was going to look like to just bring us frozen pizzas. It wasn't a balanced meal and all of that stuff. She thought, I want to do something to bless them, and this is what I can do under the circumstances I'm in. So we've had that happen multiple times where people have, split their supper with us on something they weren't planning to be able to bring us a meal, or showed up with things that were in their freezer that they hadn't done anything with. They just packed a bag of food from their home and brought it to us, not going out to the grocery store special for us, but just bringing us some items to get us through a hard time. So just a challenge that look around you, see who can use a blessing today, and what can you do in the next day or two to actually be able to do that blessing. Instead of, I think a lot of us think through things a little too long and try to make things perfect, but how can you bless somebody at a moment's notice? So that's just a challenge. If you have done something like that recently, or are thinking about doing something in the future, drop a note here in the comments so that we can all kind of encourage each other. And again, thank you for those who have or are bringing meals to us in the near future. We are very excited about those. And thank you for joining Herding Little Cows.